Hello everyone. Today we are discussing about the class templates. Templates having two types, function templates and class template. In this section, we are discussing about the class template. So what about the class template? A class template is a common class that can represent various similar classes operating on data of different types. Once a class template is defined, we can create an object of that class using user-defined data type or specific basic type that replace the generic data types with the actual types. Means the class definition is same as the all other class definitions, but we are just creating the generic data types and we are replacing the generic data type with the actual data type when we are creating the object. So syntax of creating class templates: template class T1 comma class T2. Here T1 and T2 are the generic data type. Class name, attributes and method. That is that class having some basic attributes and methods, but that attributes using and method using the return type as a generic, that will be T1 and T2. Let's demonstrate the example of this thing. So this is the example for the calculator. So we are taking the class calculator. Here we are using one generic data type, that is capital T. Remember that always generic data types are declared as a capital letter. So generic data type is capital T. We are creating the class calculator. So two numbers we require for the calculator, number 1 and number 2 of the type generic. That is, we can assign integer, float, whatever data type required will be assigned to the number 1 and number 2. Then calculator, this is the constructor. Here n1 value and nt value taken, and that n1 and n2 value assigned to the number 1 and number 2. Then void display result. So void display result display the result of the that two number added, two numbers subtracted, two number multiplication and two numbers are divided. So as is line, that is cout numbers number 1 number 2, then cout number 1 plus number 2, whatever the result. So here are the functions called add, subtract, multiply, divide. So what is the definition of these functions? So function having return type. So in this class we are using capital T as a generic data type. So we are using this T as a return type. So it returns number 1 plus number 2, number 1 minus number 2, like that. So these are definitions vary for the number of data types, because we are using here generic data type, and generic data type is replaced with the actual data type whenever we are calling the function with the help of exam, with the help of that object. So in a integer main we are creating the object, so class name, then we are creating object of type integer, integer cal c, this is the object name. We are passing two values, number 1 having two value, number 2 having one value. Again we are creating another object with the help of class name and object name, float cal c. We are passing two value, one is double value, second one double value. So cout integer result, we are calling the function display result with the help of first object, that is having integer type, and again we are calling the same with the help of second object, that is at that time float values are passed to that functions. Again we can call these functions with the help of third object if you want to calculate these things for the another data type. Let's check the execution. Okay, so integer results, whenever we are passing, creating integer object when one is passed, so whatever the 2 plus 1, 2 minus 1, all the results will be displayed. And passing, if the passing for the floating point value, then again this result will be displayed. This program is only work from the for the one generic data type. We can replace or we can edit this program for the two generic data types. Okay, thank you all of you.